So, I don't have a dramatic salvation story. Does that make my salvation less real? For a long time, I've been thinking about this because this is my story. I don't have a drama that I can remember and say, "Oh, this was when I gave my life to Christ." So, but I sometimes think, does that mean that people that were, you know, maybe in a different religion, or they were into something very bad before giving their life to Christ? When you see these people talk about their salvation story, you feel moved and everything. It just makes me feel some type of way, like, mm, am I sure that this is how my salvation story is supposed to be? So, and it just got me thinking and trying to get some answers. And I believe that there are some people that can relate to what I'm talking about. My name is Phoebe Olajubo, and welcome to my YouTube channel. So, on this space, I just talk about things, lifestyle, faith, inspiration, mom life, and however it comes. So today, I want to talk about salvation stories. And I'll be very happy if you can share your thoughts in the comments as well. So, for me, I was raised in a Christian background. Let me say, I gave my life to Christ mainly because of my grandma, because she was a um, deeper life Christian. So, and she lived with us for a very long time. She usually comes and stay with us then, and she would preach and preach morning, afternoon, night, every time. And those things, I just grew up in that lifestyle. I would go to church with my parents as well. Um, so I was basically raised a Christian. I don't have one particular time that I said, I was blind. Now I can see and all of that." So I would say, well, there was one particular thing that while I was little that really made me, stay. It's because of my story of when I was a little girl. My grandma used to tell me this story over and over again. One time I was really sick, and doctors had given up on me, and there was nothing anybody could do. There was no money. There was nothing. They didn't have money to even save me, and doctors were not even sure if I would make it. So, but my grandma would always tell me, my aunties and all that, "Oh, Phoebe, you are God saved you, just like that. It was a miracle." That's another story for another day. It was just a miracle. So every time I think about that story of how God saved me, I just thought that, if God could save me, why don't I just live for this God? So that's just how I've been growing up, and I would say that I have different encounters, maybe times where I would say, "Oh God, I need to just rededicate my life to you," because we are not perfect, I know. So yes, there were different encounters, and then I would say these encounters made me, maybe if I was 2% close to God before, maybe I'll have an encounter that will draw me closer to God, maybe 5%, then 10%, like that and like that. So I think it's been a stage of just growing, learning, and I believe it's valid. I don't think there's any salvation that is realer than the other. Whether yours was dramatic, maybe you were not a Christian before and you were living a bad life and you that was just raised in a Christian home, I think we all have um a good experience. It's all about growing, it's all about learning. I believe that's all that matters. Yeah. It's not about who has the most dramatic salvation story. God loves all of us. He's calling all of us, both those that are not even have not even known him at all, and even we that are just growing in him. Because sometimes society makes us believe that, oh, if you are born in a Christian home, um you are still not a you are still not a Christian, like that. Yes, I understand, but it doesn't still make me less a Christian. I don't know if somebody um is getting what I'm trying to say, but I believe that whether you were born in a Christian home or you were not, it's all about how you try to develop yourself, because your salvation is real. So all you just need to do is try to get closer to God, get to know him better. Because even if you give your life, if you were a big sinner and all, and you gave your life to Christ, and the next day you still went about doing what you were doing before, you've lost it again. So I believe it's all about developing yourself, trying to grow, trying to get better in the way of the Lord. So, share your thoughts in the comments. I would like to hear from you, my friend. What do you think? Are there some salvation that are realer than some? I would like to say that yes, I've you know publicly given my life, because at one point I'll be like, oh Phoebe, you're a Christian, but you haven't given your life to God publicly. I believe that it's very important to give your life to God publicly, because at that point you feel like, the whole world have known that I've given my life to Christ, so I better know what I'm doing. So yes, I remember that I would have come out, to be honest, several times to give my life to Christ, to rededicate my life to Christ. But the point of this video is just that I cannot say that, oh, this was the day that, oh, I gave my life to Christ. So, but it doesn't make me less a Christian. Neither does it make you less a Christian. So, share your story with me. How did you give your life to Christ? I'd like to know. See ya.